More tools with thread. Thank you for joining me on this Sewing Machines Plus Takeover Tuesday. How fun. Can you guys hear me okay? I know, I told him that too, Linda. Let's get it going. Can we please? So, hello. Oh, there's my girls from the Situation Room, Monday through Friday on my YouTube channel, Power Tools with Thread. Hi, Sarah Stitches. Good to see you guys. This is so fun. I really enjoy doing this. So we're just going to visit a little bit until everybody gets in here. So for those of you that are here, PTWT Nation, that's right. That's right. Good to see everybody. Okay. I'm going to cover something today that I have not done before. And I got to tell you how this came about. Okay. So it's on now. We're good to go. All right. You guys can hear me and everything is good. So I'm going to be traveling around to various guilds around the country. And I am going to be teaching some embroidery stuff and whatnot. But when I go to these places, like we had a great RV sew together in El Campo, Texas, had like 30 stitchers show up, embroidery machines, scan and cut and all. And we just had a ball for about 3 days. But when I went there, I had let me step out of camera for just a second. I had this made in China, bought at Best Buy camera bag. And I was thinking, y'all, this is not what I need to be showing up with. I'm a quilter, right? I need to have something unique and whatnot. So I went looking. And I found a By Annie bag called Laptop Computer Carriers 2. Let me put this here so it's not blurry. All right. So I'm going to be making the larger one because I'm going to carry my MacBook with me where I go. This one's a little bit smaller and that's fine, but I wanted the one with the handles and the strap. And of course, if it's involved and difficult, I'm all in for that. That's the one I want, right? So I don't know if you've ever made a By Annie bag before. They can be a challenge. And I have been binge watching By Annie how-to videos from the Fat Quarter Shop especially. They have a 7-video series for this particular bag. So that's kind of cool. The videos are old, but the directions are still good. So you've made lots, Charlene. That's great. Yeah. So I was like, well, okay, I want to make the bag. And I hate making bags. I hate making bags. And the thing I hate most about making bags is the quilting. That's annoying. That is so annoying. So the all over quilting, I'll make a pass on my domestic and okay. And then the second one, I'm done. I'm bored. I want to move on, but I've got these big pieces that need to be done. Now, Annie does talk about in her video that if you don't want to do that and you have an opportunity and you know somebody who has a long arm or you have a long arm, then you can certainly pre-quilt your bags with the long arm. And that's where I'm at. So takes 7 videos to explain how it's made. Well, if you've been sewing a while, you're good. It's going to be like, oh yeah. The best thing about those videos though is that she's going to verbalize tips that she uses to make life easier that I'm scribbling down the whole time, because those are things that I would want to do. Putting the bag together according to the instructions is easy. That's easy. It's those little bitty pieces, those little nuggets that Annie has come up with over the years, like how to get that strapping through the tube to put over your shoulder. Ugh, she's got some good tips on that. That's what the videos do. Okay, so I have gone ahead and got my first pass done on my long arm, and I'm not going to go through all the steps of how to set all that up because I've done that with you guys before. If you're new and you didn't see it, then take a look back at any other Takeover Tuesday on SMP's channel, and you can see me do that. Now, So I got the fabric and I got my pattern and I was like, ah, and then life got in the way. And I have a thing in April. I'm traveling to Indiana to teach and I need my bag. But I had lost motivation. And then I think Sandra is in here, Sandra Castillo. I think she's here. She sent me this beautiful, beautiful By Annie bag as a gift. And I was like, oh, this made me so happy. And I said, you know what? If she can do it, I can do it. So I'm back on the bag making bandwagon, right? So, all right, what I have done is quilted the first part. I got to show you guys. This fabric is absolutely gorgeous. This is from the line. Let me move the camera over here. It's a beautiful navy blue. This is from the line Land of Enchantment by Sarah Diddy, and it's from Moda. And I made a quilt with this last year, and I on purpose purchased more of this fabric specifically to make a bag. It's very hard to get a hold of now, but I want to show you how beautiful this is. The things I love about this, look at that. That is the Zuni sun or the Zia sun that they do. We have hummingbirds. Now my fabric is directional, but this fabric is just gorgeous. I have butterflies in here. I don't know if you can see that one. Beautiful butterflies. This is just gorgeous. And won't that make a beautiful computer bag? Okay, and then the backing I want to show you is a grunge because lime is one of my favorite colors. And I've just pulled this out of my stash. Isn't that pretty? That's just gorgeous. So I thought, you know, you always want something bright inside of your bag so that you can see what's in there, because if it's really dark, it's hard to see. And I was wanting to see if you guys would be able to see the reflection of my mirror. I don't know if you can or not. I want to see. I don't think you can because I have a little mirror. Anyway, I wanted you to be able to see the underside of the quilting because it is absolutely gorgeous. So let's take a look at what I'm doing with this thing. And it is time, I'll bring it back over here in a minute. Right now it's time to drag and drop to be able to advance the quilt. So what I have done is, let me see here, let me back out a little bit. So what I have done is I have quilted that first top row right here. Some of you might remember that I have Sew Tights magnets in here. Well, I don't have a whole lot of this fabric, so I want to make sure I didn't have a lot of backing fabric. So I wanted to make sure that I used every bit of it. And so I have a 12-inch wide, it's like a canvas or a duck. It's from Stacy East shoe called Let's Go. I think that's what it's called. And so I put the Sew Tights, attached that up here on the bar, and then I just pinned my backing here. So it looks like a regular quilt. But I wanted to bring you over and show you how I'm going to drag and drop this to move it forward one row. So let's get in here and take a look. Okay, I have finished this particular row. Well, I want to get you to the right. There we go. And maybe zoom you in just a little bit. I've not shown this because usually we just kind of do the first row and be done. So this is the first time. All right. So long jump pause comes on when you're done. Not a big deal if you want to X that out or not. You don't necessarily have to. So I am going to move the head of the machine away to cut the thread. I want to pull up my bobbin thread, bring it back. I'm going to needle down, needle up, move it away again, and my scissors grew legs. Where did they go? Doesn't that always happen? They're supposed to be on my magnet, and I didn't. There they are. Okay. I like to wear my Sew Tights magnet on my shirt. There we go. I got it. So, all right, so here, now just a tip, if you're going to be doing this, you can quilt as densely as you like. This is a feather design that is inside of Pro Stitcher. which is the automation I'm running on this. You can run this, you can run a Butler, whatever. So, but I'm running Pro Stitcher, and I made the design very large and open so that you don't really, make the foam very dense. I didn't want it very dense. So I will, I'm going to move this and move you at the same time. And I want to show you how I do this. So I'm going to move this all the way down. Well, here's the thing. This is important. Boop, 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 boop. See how nested that piece is right there? Let me get my pointer again here. So a lot of times when quilters are advancing to the next row, they go to the lowest point in the design, okay, right there, which you could, but see how nested that next row is up there? I want to make sure that when the head of the machine goes all the way up into here, it's not going to hit the take-up rail. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to move the head of the machine to the top of that piece right there, right here. Okay. So now you can see what I've done. All right. Yeah, I have foam in there. I sure do. It's a soft and stable lookalike is what it is that I have in there. It's a Pellon product, but it's just like soft and stable. Okay. So, we're on the top of that. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to drop my needle by touching the needle down button. Okay. And I want to go drag, and I'm going to touch the drag button. Can you see? You cannot. I want to make sure you can see that. I'm going to touch drag and make sure it highlights and it changes to drop. Okay. And so now I'm going to remove my grips on the sides. You can hear me taking those off and dropping them down. Okay. Now, I want to back out here. What I'm going to do, I don't know if you'll be able to see, maybe I can do it from this side. I want you to see what I'm doing. If you can see the wheels, can you see very back there, that track on the carriage all the way to the back? Watch that wheel as it goes backwards, okay? And I want to make sure that that does not hit the back of the very end. That's as far as I would take it, okay? And then I'm going to pull forward and lock that back down in like that. So that's how I'm going to make sure when the head of the machine is traveling all the way up into the top of that to nest, it's not going to smack into that back end. That's what I watch. Let me zoom in so you can see what I'm talking about back there. See that back wheel? It is not, there's a black stopper on the back of the wheel, on the back of the carriage track, and that back wheel is about half an inch away from it. So it's not going to smack into that. That matters, okay? The King Quilter 2 Elite is an 18-inch throat machine, and it's wonderful. I'm loving this thing, okay? And I'm on a 10-foot frame, and it has the Grace luminous lights up above, which I love. All right, I didn't cover that. So, all right. Now what I want to do is come back over here to the machine, to the screen. Okay, and I'm going to come up here and I'm going to zoom in. Let me get in here. Okay, and I'm just going to touch drop. All right, so drag and drop went down. Everything's good. Now I'm going to pull my needle up by hitting the button, and it's up. All right, and now I have a resume button right here, and that's all I have to do is hit resume, and it knows it's going to come all the way back over to this dot. I hope. Let's do that and see. And it is. Yay, I did it right. Yay. Yay for Becky. She did it right. So I'm going to go ahead and quilt this second pass. I've already basted down the quilt and whatnot. Oh, hold on a second. Let me put on my grips. on both sides so we get that pretty. And I will tell you guys, I put a basting line through here because I'm floating this. And I'm going to go ahead and put my magnets on. I have some real heavy tool magnets. Oops. From Northern Tool. Let me go ahead and put this on this bar here so that it's nice. It doesn't pull up and bunch because I'm floating. And I'm going to pull out my basting stitches. Okay, you don't want to quilt over your basting stitches. It takes forever they're more difficult to get out. When I'm doing the basting in the middle of the quilt, I like to use a 2-inch baste. When I'm basting up and down the sides, I use a 1/2 inch or a 1-inch baste, but just something really easy. Okay. All right, this is good. And I don't have that bowl foot on. You know what? So I'm going to take a little time out here. I'm going to go into the baste module and I'm going to go down to an inch. And it already took an initial stitch. Okay, pull up my bobbin thread. And I'm going to just baste this down real quick. You don't want that to get hung up. I actually have the ruler foot on it right now because I'm going to do a little bit of ruler work, which is cool when we get to the next phase of this. Okay, so I've done that. All right, now I'm just going to hit, let's see, where were we? We started like right about there, needle down, needle up, pull up my bobbin thread again, go back into the idle mode so that it'll stitch pretty and hit resume. And it's smarter than I am and it knew to move a little bit. And now I'm going to talk you through what I'm going to do the rest of this thing while this does its thing. All right. Pretty. Okay. So let me know in the comments. I'm going to turn you around so I can read the comments and see you at the same time. All righty. So, what Pellon? Oh, I'll tell you what it is right now that I'm using. It is, this is Pellon 78 FF78 F1. Now this is a single-sided fusible, and I put the fusible side down. I'm not doing any ironing on this bag. There's no ironing involved except for ironing the straps, okay? So the fusible is not a big deal. And I did spray baste the, I spray basted with 505. You can use your favorite, whatever you want, but I spray basted the back side of that Pellon and put it down on the backing, what's going to be the lining, okay? And then I spray basted the Pellon and got the outer fabric on that as well. So spray basting with a long arm is the better idea than doing any kind of pins. You don't want to do that. Okay, so now, hi Joanne, thanks for popping in. Thank you, sweetheart. Okay, so when you make a bag by Annie, one of the things that they tell you to do when you get it is you will get a diagram in your pattern, and this tells you how to cut your fabric. So after your fabric is all quilted, then you need to remove it, and you're going to have to cut out your pieces, and it tells you exactly what size to cut. So I was talking to my quilty buddy Lisa, that's Betty Boop if she's in the chat. Sometimes she's on in the morning. And she says, well, why don't you get that tablet to draw out in stitches your cutting lines? And I was like, yeah, why don't I get it to do that? That's amazing. And so I said, well, I'm going to have to ask Harriet how to do that, because Harriet is pretty good at Pro Stitcher. So Harriet, Quilting by Harriet here in our chat. So Harriet and I did some FaceTiming, and she said, you're wearing a sweatshirt, because I live in South Texas. I said, yeah, it's cold. It's the only one I have. So let's see. What did you say? Did I spray base? I missed that question. I'm sorry. So one of the things, though, so that's fine. I'm going to show you guys how to create your stitch lines, how to create your cut lines on the Pro Stitcher. But I'm going to take it one step further, because Harriet thought of this. See, I don't ever have an original thought in my head. People tell me things, and I show you how to do them. Okay. Alrighty. So I want to show you that. I hope that my tablet does not pick up. What's the name of the bag gifted to Becky? Rose, I think that's called Pack It In 2.0. I love the vinyl on the front so I can see what's in there. So I want to show you. I pulled up this video. Okay. I hope I didn't lose you. If I lost you, I'll on audio. I don't want to lose you on audio. I hope not. Okay. So I don't know if you can see this. Can you see? You cannot see that. Okay. No, hold on. Let me make sure on my audio that I am still, you're still here. Okay, good. I want to make sure. Good. Okay. It looks like my travel pods are connected at, oh, you can still hear fine. Good. Thank you, Julianne. So not only do I want to create the cut lines, but after you finish cutting them out, just kind of think about this. So if you're cutting on the line that's created by the Pro Stitcher, what happens is, as you cut it, you will have gappies between where the fabric can separate from the foam, because it doesn't have any stitching holding it down, right? It'll have stitching holding it down where the stitching went, but it can have gappies. So then Harriet says, let's put another line right inside of the cut line. We'll do it 1/4 of an inch away, and that'll be the line to hold everything down. And I thought, brilliant. So you cut it on the cut line. I can even make it a tiny bit bigger, so we're closer to 1/8 of an inch stitching all the way around the inside, okay? But that way you can just cut on your cut lines, and everything's going to be perfect and already sewn together, and there's not going to be any more having to, after you cut them out, take it over to your domestic machine and stitching all around the edges again. Mind blown. That's brilliant, right? Gappies. You know what gappies are, Julianne. So I had never thought about that. You know, that just never occurred to me. And like I say, it takes a village, right? So Lisa says, why don't you do this? And I'm like, that's a great idea. I don't know how. Then we talked to Harriet. Harriet knows how. When I told Harriet about it, she went, oh my goodness, that's brilliant. So it is genius. And it's going to make making these bags so much faster and so much easier. Teamwork, teamwork. That's right. Harriet says teamwork. So as soon as this finishes, I'm going to show you how to make those boxes. And the first one I'm going to make, so my fabric is directional. So Harriet, I have to turn my stuff the other way. I had to turn my fabric because I've got to put the 15 inches going lengthwise. So anyway, I've got it working out. Yeah, I love that. I've got it worked out. So if you look here on my quilted set A, I have, what I'm going to have to do is turn it this way. Okay. So that I've got my side strip is 31 by 31 and a half. So I want to get that set up right now. Now that it's all quilted, I've run out of depth on the back here. I've run out of depth on my foam. So I'm not going to be quilting any more of that. Let me take these off. Okay. So I want to roll it back now to the top so that I can put I can get that long strap on there, that 31 by 31.5 inch carry strap. Oh, I didn't have those on. So I'm going to pull up my bobbin thread. Okay. We're going to cross our fingers and hope that this works on my pretty fabric. I always say there are those who test and those who wish they did, from the late, great Deborah Jones. I got that from her. But we shall see. Okay. So I'm going to kind of fold this up on here, and I want to release this one. I want to get back up to the top. Okay. So let me pull this down. I want to get all the way back up to the top of my piece up there, like that. That'll be good. So this is going to kind of be a custom thing here, y'all. Has anybody done this with a long arm for customers? So you could do that. Okay. And charge them through the nose. Make it pay for itself, right? So I need to make a box. All right. I need to make a box. I've already saved this pattern. I'm finished quilting it for now. If I'm going to quilt it some more when I get done, I will go ahead and put some more foam up in there, get those basted together with some tape, basting tape, and then continue quilting this out. But I want to show you how I'm going to make that box. Okay. So I'm going to close this. I'm going to hit cancel right now. Let me look at my, it doesn't matter on my stitch count. It doesn't matter. I'm going to hit cancel. Okay. All right. Let me get you in here so you can see what I'm doing. Okie dokie. So I'm going to file and let's clear all. Okay. And just make that go away. Now, inside of Pro Stitcher, there is a design. I'll show you where to find it. It's a 4x4 square. So I'm going to go to design. I'm in file, design, and I'm going to click open so you can see where to get it. In the designs, in PS 1-PS designs, if you go to blocks right there, and then scroll up a little bit, and we'll find it. It's called square, so it's in the S's. Keep going, keep going. It's right here. It looks like nothing. It says square 4x4. I'm going to touch that and tell it open. So there's my square 4x4. Okay, I'm at my house. Let me zoom this down a little bit so you can see. Now, what I want to do is get this centered on the crosshairs. Okay, so I'm going to come up to modify, reposition, and I want to hit center. Center. There. So now you can see that it's centered on that square. Okay. So now what I want to do while I'm in modify and it is selected, that 4x4 square is selected, I want to go to resize, and I'm going to resize. We are on width, and I'm going to resize my width to, let's see, 31. Oh, it's 3.5, not 31.5, y'all. So let's see, my width is going to be 31, I think. If it's backwards, I'll fix it. Yeah. 31 is the main cut line. I'm going to hit enter. Let me go down here to the house so we can see it. All right. Now I want to go to my height, and my height, tap the box, is 3.5 and hit enter. So there is my strap cut line. Okay. All righty. Let's see, I haven't missed anything. Okay. Now, I told you guys I wanted to make a line just inside of that so that I don't have to when I finish cutting it, I don't have to take it to the domestic and then stitch that again all the way around to close up those gappies. Because the worst thing that happens when you're making one of these bags is the fabric kind of gets pulled over upside down and to the wrong side, and you sew over it, and when you turn it right side out you can see the foam. That's horrible. All that work for nothing, and it makes you so mad that you start drinking, and that's not good. So I'm trying to help you with your alcohol problem, okay? This is how I think, y'all. So now what I want to do, I want another one of these boxes, okay? So I'm going to come over to edit, and there's a duplicate button. Okay, so I'm going to hit duplicate, and you can see it went over here automatically off to the side. And now I want to move that one. I'm going to go to modify, reposition, and center. This is the reason you do this step, is to make sure that these two boxes are sitting on top of, one's on top of the other exactly. And the computer is aligning all that up for you. So now I want to go to resize, and I'm going to lock this so that my height and my width are the same. And I'm going to hit my minus sign and go down just a tiny bit and come back. Let's see. So it's at 3.5. It went to 3.38. That's not going to work. So let me just touch it. And oh, let me undo my lock. Okay, so 3.5 for that. I'm going to do 3.25 and enter. So there's my inner line for the length there for that height. Let me go to width, and I'm going to change it to 30.75 and enter. There it is. See that? That's very, very cool. Let me get you in real close so you can see. See my double lines? One's a cut line, and the other one is a I'm sewing for you line. Okay. All right. Now, in order to move these around, if you wanted to build out more boxes, you need to group these. So grouping is a very cool tool. I'm going to tip my screen a little bit so you can, nobody ever talks about these buttons down here. Okay, those buttons are selection buttons with grouping. So the arrow with the X is select none. The arrow with the small box is group some. And the arrow with the big box is group all. Okay. So you can select multiple things in your workspace. So let's go to the workspace. I'm back out so you can see. Oh, you guys saw that. Okay. So in the workspace, we show square 4x4 and square 4x459. I want to group those so that when I move them, watch. If I go to touch one, they're not grouped. Okay. I'm going to undo, put that back. So right now I want to go to select all, but that's the arrow, the big box, and see what it does. It created a separate group called group 65, which is cool. So I can take this now and I can move them both at the same time. This is very handy if you want to be sure that your, oh, Harriet told me to baseline. She's right. Let me undo. She's texting me, baseline that. As soon as you make that box, baseline it. As soon as you get that group set, baseline it. And that way, that's always going to be there. Okay. You can also, Harriet doesn't like the grid, but you might want to get the grid and put it on there so that you can see where you're going to put it. Okay. And then if you build another box, you can actually see the distance between them. These individual boxes are 1-inch boxes. So then you can see the distance in between them and know you've got enough room, as long as they're not sitting on top of each other, and you know they don't have to be so far apart if you're trying to conserve fabric. Okay, so I'll take that away. All right, so that's good. That's done on that one. And merged group 65 is my strap. And where are we on time? Just a little bit. So I'm going to go ahead. I think right now I'm going to stitch my strap, okay, because I don't have enough room to put another box under here and stitch that right now. So I am going to file. I want to save my workspace, and I'm going to, we're going to clear, and I'm going to call it strap. Okay, and save. All right. And now this is ready to go. Now I have navy blue thread on top, but I have white thread underneath. So I will be cutting my pieces from the back. Does that make sense? So make sure y'all are talking about space heaters. Okay, that's good. All right, that's good. So I want to make sure everything's going to fit just fine. Let me pull this here. I want it to stitch up here. I need to move this. Okay. So I'm on my select. I'm going to take this and move it down. I want it to stitch right there. That's where my crosshairs are. So I can look down and know I'm good right there. Okay. And now I'm going to move my crosshairs I'm going to move the head all the way to the other end and make sure everything's going to fit. Okay. So let me go to the other end of my box, and it ends right here. And that's perfect. So that's going to fit. All right. So let's do this. Let's make a box. I'm going to put this over here. I'll start it, right about up there. And select. I'm going to move this just a little bit closer so I know I've got lots of room. Okay. And we are ready to go, I think. You think we're ready to go, Harriet? Harriet's watching. She's babysitting me. That's what she's doing. I'm going to go to Pro Stitcher. And let's do this. Let's run. And, I need to needle down, needle up, and get my bobbin thread up. And let's see. Oh, hold on a second. I want to get, and we are in idle. Okay, and cruise, go. All right, we're ready. Oh, it just did the needle up down for me, and resume. This is awesome. So you can essentially build your pieces. Woohoo, y'all. I'll tell you, one of the things I love about this machine, the tension is fantastic. I never, ever have any trouble with this thing at all. It's amazing. This is an amazing long arm. If you are in the market for a long arm, y'all have had my share. Okay, this is my third one. Fantastic. I absolutely love this. All right. So there's our first. That's my cut line. Okay. And it's going to tie off. And now it just went in a little bit. And here is my inner, I'm sewing it all together for you line. Yep. That is amazing, y'all. I want to show you how pretty. Let me get down in there so y'all can see this. I want to go in on this yellow flower right here. Look at my lines. Isn't that nice? Fabulous idea. I told y'all this was going to be groundbreaking. Yay! I'm so excited. All done. Now I don't have to put it on the domestic. I just have to cut it on that outside line very carefully with a rotary cutter, and it's going to be perfect. Yay! I love it, love it, love it. All right, so I'm finished with this one. Now I wanted to show you guys too. We'll do what we can. I'm going to quickly run through this because I want to make these another set of boxes. Okay. All right. So let me, I'm going to move the head down to, 1/4 of an inch away from the first set, just right there. Okay, I'm going to put the needle down. Okay, I'm going to roll it so that I've got lots of space. Not as far as I can go. Okay, all right. And let me put this down here, nice and smooth. Okay, I'm just going to keep it nice and pretty. Okay, now I need a 12.5 by 15 box. Okay. Move this. I need a 12.5 by 15 box. And here's my old ones. I'm going to come down just a little bit there. Okay. So now I'm pretty sure I'm going to double check my measurements. Okay. You're so glad you watched me do this. Yeah. I am certain that the butler probably also has a way for you to do this. All right, so like I said, my next piece is 12.5 by 15. So let's go to new. All right, I'm going to do another one. I could do this on the same screen, but I don't want that to stitch again. So King Quilter 2 Elite, yes, with Pro Stitcher. You can do this sailing. You can do this in Pro Stitcher Light or Pro Stitcher Premium, whichever you want. It will work, okay? So she's on board. All right. And if you buy it, if you get one, be sure to tell them I sent you, okay? Because that helps me out a whole bunch. So I'm just going to go to File and let's clear all. And let's start all over. So I need a box. So now I'm going to go to Design, Square 4x4. All right. And here we are. I'm going to modify, reposition, center. Perfect. Let me go back here to my house on the bottom so I can see. And I need to resize this. So I'm going to touch the resize button. And it needs to resize to 12.5 by 15. So let's see. It's on width right now. I'm going to touch the 4 and I'm going to go to 15.0, enter. Okay. And then my height is 12.5. And enter. Is that right? Let me look. Okay. So that's, I have to make 2 of those. So I can make them right next to one another. All right. So we'll get to that in a second. All right. So I need another one now. I'm going to go into edit and duplicate. Okay. And it put it down here. And I'm going to go to modify, reposition, and center. And now it's sitting right exactly on top of its buddy per the computer. I'm going to resize and I'm going to have them go down 1/4 of an inch. So my 12.5, I'm going to go to 12.25, enter. All right. And my width, my 15, I'm going to go to 14.75 and enter. And let's see. Let me do some undoing. Undo. I didn't hit something right. Okay, width needs to be 14.75. Whoop, the point, that's what I missed. 0.75, enter. Okay, that's better. Height is going to be 2.25. Enter. Ta-da! That works. That's what I want. Okay, I want to select all. I'm going to group them, and I need the baseline, right? Harriet's always on me about baselining. We're going to baseline. Okay, that looks really good. Now, it's selected. I should be able to move them. I've got the head of the machine right where I want it. I'm going to take this and move it down, right down here. Let's go to the house and take a look. Okay, so you can see where we're at. Now, I'm right here. If I pull it forward, do I have enough room? Let's cross our fingers. I do. I have room. Take a look. Ta-da. I've got room. So I can put this here, okay? And everything is quilted here too. So I'm good to go, right? Pretty much. I could probably do another row of quilting, but all right. So I'll do that in a second. Now, I want to stitch this. I'm going to pull this back up to the top to where it's going to start. Right there is good. All right. I'm going to go to Pro Stitcher and run and proceed. I should save it. Hold on a second. Let me cancel. Let me go to File. Let me go to Save. And this workspace, I'm going to save it as front. We'll call it front dash back because it's two pieces the same size until it's saved. All right, now let me go down a little bit here. I want to show you guys. So now that that is all grouped, let's go into workspace. Okay. I want to duplicate that. So I'm going to go into modify. Oops, sorry, edit, duplicate. And it duplicated the whole group. Okay. And now I want to move just that group. So I have merge group 86 and merge group 8698. So if I touch this and I drag it over here, okay. See? There's my two pieces all at the same time. Okay. Let's see. I need two of these same size boxes. Yep. And I need to reposition my start point. So let me go into modify. And I don't know how reposition. I don't know how to do that. There we go. That'll work. Okay, I just touched it. So it's going to stitch one, and then I can have it stitch the other. I'm getting text messages from Ms. Harriet. Yeah, baseline, you're good. Oh, yay, I'm getting good marks from the teacher, you guys. Okay, there it is. So we're ready to go. I am going to go into Pro Stitcher, and I'm on Quilt. I'm going to hit run and proceed. All right, I'm going to pull up my bobbin thread. Oh, y'all, I'm all over this. Let me see here. There's a reason I wanted to do, especially just this one box I want to show you guys. I'm going to tell it resume. We're going to do something very cool here. All right. Now, ooh, I'm feeling pretty froggy, y'all. My dad used to say. All right. Now, when you, again, I learned this in one of those by Annie videos. They want you to use a 2.5 inch curve on the corners of your bag. And what she wanted, you know, she used a Creative Grids 2.5 inch ruler, right? For a circle. And it's going to start going again. Yep. Okay. So I've got my rulers here. I didn't have a 2.5 inch. I have a 2 inch, and that's too small. She said 3.5. Thank you, Paula. I'm feeling pretty happy. Don't jinx it. So I had a 2 inch. That was too small. But what I did have, and the next size up was a 3 inch. But what I did have was an Olfa circle cutter. So I made, using my circle cutter, had to go out on YouTube, see how to use that. I made, here's a 2.5-inch circle. So how about that? All right, now, so I need to create a 2.5-inch circle in my corners. All 4 corners are going to be trimmed like that. So let me show you how I'm going to do that. Now, you can't use a circle shape in the Pro Stitcher because it won't stitch just that piece. It'll stitch all the way around. And you don't want that. That's not the look we're going for unless you want to unpick it, which you can, but then you've got loose, and who wants to do that? So what I was going to do, let me get this out of here. Okay. So what I'm going to do, y'all, I'm making this long arm sing. Love it. So I'm going to take my 2.5-inch template, and on the cut line, I'm setting it on the cut line because the ruler that she is using, she's also setting it on the very edge of the fabric. Okay. So I'll put that there. And now, so it's on the cut line. I can see these 2 lines. I'm just going to take my clover marker and I'm going to chalk mark this curve right here. Okay. Aha. I'm going to chalk mark that curve. Okay. And now, let me get you in there so you can see it. Where is it? Where'd it go? Where'd it go? It's over. Let me see. Go back. I'm too wide. Let me put my finger on it. There it is. There's the chalk curve right there. See that? There's that chalk curve. Okay. So this machine comes with a ruler base. And it's so easy to put on and off. It's the easiest one I have ever found. It just slides right on and off. Okay, so that's why I'm sewing with the ruler foot. I don't want to switch feet mid thing here. So I'm going to put this, and I'm just going to put this on here. Okay, and grab a hold and just push. Okay. All right. Now I have the handy dandy handy quilter. You can get this at Sewing Machines Plus. It's called multi clamshells, and it has a 1.5, a 4, a 2, and a 3. Okay, so I am going to put this under here, and I'm just going to very slowly, because I am not a ruler quilter. That's not my thing, y'all. I'm going to use my 3. I'm going to put this in here. Maybe I'll start it down and push it up. I think that will be better. So I'll put this right here. All right, that's the way I want to do that. Yeah, Natalia Bonner, I am not. Okay, so I'm going to go kind of in the middle and do a lock stitch. All right, and I'm going to just kind of make sure. I'm going to go to precision. I'm back now. I changed the idle is what you want to use. The idle cruise mode is what you use to do the edge to edge. Okay, the precision is what you use for ruler work, so that the needle moves if you're moving, right? And the stitch is regulated. So that's what I'm doing there. And I'll let you watch my mistakes because this is how I roll. Okay. So I'm just looking to make sure that my ruler is 1/4 of an inch away from that yellow line. Very slowly, and bring it around. And it may not be perfect, but it is better than me doing it by hand. All right. And that's it. I'm done. How about that? Yay. So now I've already stitched together my little corner, which is horrible when you're, going along. So now I just need to make sure that when I trim, I'm going to trim outside of that corner, that chalk mark. And I'm going to do that to not just all 4, but all 8 of my corners on these bag pieces. All right. You guys, if there's a lazy way to do something, I'm going to figure it out so I don't have to do extra work. I love using this power tool with thread. It is one of my favorite in my arsenal. It is a fantastic, fantastic machine. So you need a long arm. Yes, you do, Josie. And if you get one, be sure to, if you call, which that's perfectly fine, tell them you heard about it from Becky from Power Tools with Thread, and I really appreciate that. So we've got a phone number scrolling by the edge of the screen down there. And if you guys have any questions about this machine and you want, any info at all, send me an email, powertoolswiththread@outlook.com. I am happy to answer your questions. I'm not a salesperson, but I'm happy to tell you what I know from a user perspective because that's who I am. So this has been absolutely so much fun. How close are we? We're pretty close. I just want to make sure that's your dream machine, Becky. I know. So this is just so cool that it's doing all the heavy lifting for me. I love it. I love it. I'm going to set it up and let it start working on the other box. So I'm just going to touch the other box. I'm going to move the crosshairs over there. Make sure. Yep, I'm outside of the other one. And let me just get this going while we're here. And I'll just let it do its thing, y'all. And Pro Stitcher, run, and proceed. Okay. And again, I left my scissors. They walked away. And resume. And that way I've got plenty of time. I want to have this done so I can make up my other boxes. I still have 2 more pieces I need to make on this particular fabric. This is the outer fabric. I need to do the inner pocket, which is 3 by 15 band, and then the inner pocket F2, which is 9.5 by 15. So it's awesome. So I want to thank Quilting by Harriet. She is a phenomenal long armor, and she's very good with Pro Stitcher as well. So if you are thinking about getting a Pro Stitcher, check out her YouTube channel. She does lots of stuff on Pro Stitcher too. So anyway, this has been great. Thank you so much. Thank you, Joanne. I appreciate your comments. Everybody loves learning something new. I love it too. So we will talk to you soon. Check out Power Tools with Thread on YouTube or a blog by the same name at powertoolswiththread.com. We will talk to you guys later. Y'all go say something. Bye.